Hello and welcome to Akshu's Kitchen. Today we'll see how to prepare Kaara chutney, that is spicy chutney, for which we will need the following ingredients. 10 to 12 large cloves of garlic. If you are using small cloves, you will need at least 20 of them. 12 to 15 shallot onions or small onions. If they are very small, use 20 of them. 1 tablespoon of urad dal, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, and 3 medium-sized tomatoes. Today I am using small tomatoes for this recipe because we are going to fry whole tomatoes. So if you are using large tomatoes, it will be very difficult to cook them in a short time. Also, it won't get cooked properly. That's the reason I am using small tomatoes. 5 to 6 whole red chillies, some fresh curry leaves, and 2 to 3 sprigs of coriander leaves. First, in a pan I am going to add about 1 teaspoon of oil, and when it is hot I am going to add the whole red chillies and curry leaves first. So this is a spicy recipe. If you don't want it to be too spicy, you can reduce 1 or 2 red chillies, and if you want to be very spicy, you can add one, but believe me, this is already very spicy, so this should be correct level. Just fry it for about 30 to 40 seconds and take it out and keep it aside. Make sure you don't burn the red chilies. The color should not change. Take it out and keep it aside. Next, in the same pan, the remaining oil, I'm going to add the garlic and the small onions together and fry them for about 2 to 3 minutes until they become soft and they turn golden in color. Just check whether the onions are cooked well. So because we are not going to cook them further, so make sure they are all cooked well, and take this also out and keep it aside ready. We are going to keep all the ingredients separately. Next, in the same pan, add about another 1 teaspoon of oil and add the tomatoes. So we are going to fry the tomatoes wholly. We are not going to cut them into pieces. So that's the reason I said initially try to use small size tomatoes, because they will get cooked easily. Also, they will get cooked uniformly. If you are using large or medium sized tomatoes, they will get cooked in the outer layer, and inner layer will be still moist, and also it will take too much of time. So for this recipe you will need 3 medium sized tomatoes. I am using 3 small tomatoes for 1 medium sized tomato, so I am using about 9 to 10 of them. So when you buy the tomatoes, try to pick smaller size ones if you are preparing this chutney, and if you don't get them, you will have to use the medium sized tomatoes. Put it on a low flame, cover it and cook it slowly until it is soft and the skin gets peeled out. See, now I have been frying this for about 2 to 3 minutes and it's all cooked and soft. Finally, add the coriander leaves and fry it for another 1 minute, and once the coriander leaf shrinks, this is done. I'm going to take this also out and keep this again separately. Next, in the same pan, if there is any oil left out, you can fry the urad dal in it. Otherwise, add just half a teaspoon of oil and fry the urad dal until it is golden brown in color. And once it's done, take that as well and keep it aside ready. So now all our ingredients are fried and ready. We are going to grind them one by one. First, I'm going to grind the red chilies and the curry leaves. Grind it into a coarse texture, and next we are going to add the onions and garlic. So the reason why I am adding one by one is each ingredient has its own consistency and grinding level. So first the red chilies, just to make sure it is grinded evenly, and next the onions and garlic, and the third is the tomatoes. Now grind it all well together and almost the tomato chutney is ready. Finally, throw in the urad dal and the salt and grind them. The reason why I am adding the urad dal at the final stage is we want the crispiness of the urad dal. If you add it initially with the curry leaves or onion, it will get grinded very smoothly and the chutney will become very sticky. So if you add it in the final stage, it will be crispy and give a good consistency and taste to the chutney. And now chutney is almost ready. You need not temper this, just serve this with idli or dosai. The process of grinding one by one may look tedious, but it's really simple and worth. Try it and you'll really like it. Thank you for watching Akshu's Kitchen.